And you're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
I am putting on the show right now.
Nice. So what's going on, guys?
A lot of news, huh?
A lot of boxing
A lot
this
of
week.
boxing news. A lot of crazy shit going on in the sport. I'll tell you that much.
Sure is. And a lot to talk about, especially this weekend.
With the Usyk fight losing out on Spawn last minute because he couldn't keep his hand out of the cookie jar.
Yeah, it's just getting real bad in boxing right now with all that too. It's just overwhelming. I mean, yeah, people just don't understand that it's cheating.
It is. You're absolutely right. But a lot of people right away they start with, fuck it, it's a steroid. I'm like, wait, stop. Every performing and enhancing drug is not a steroid. You guys need to educate yourself, or you guys need to learn to use Google. He tested positive for Clomid. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't on steroids, listen, but what Clomid is used for, it's a testosterone enhancer. When you run a cycle of steroids, your natural testosterone quits producing. And what that Clomid does is when you cycle off, you start on the Clomid, and it starts your regular testosterone running again. So he most likely 100% was on steroids.
Is cheating and it's enhancing.
I know. But they're saying the Clomid itself was a steroid. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It's what that women that can have children, it gets their estrogen going. You know what I mean? And it does the same with the testosterone. But right away, people jump on that whole it's fucking steroids.
But no, that's. I see what you're saying, but again, it's an enhancement.
That's not an enhancement. It does nothing for you. It makes testosterone that you don't have, but no testosterone.
Yeah, but it's making. So if once you get off that cycle, if that's your fault for being on the cycle,
oh yeah, it's your fault.
And so when you get off that,
but there is no testosterone.
It's still not your natural progression, though either.
No, but there is no testosterone.
Now you're taking something to keep it elevated.
But there's no testosterone in your body. If there was, you wouldn't be taking Clomid.
Yeah, you still have some testosterone floating around.
Your
and
body's
a lot of that PCT is more so to stop estrogen too.
Well,
so
of course you don't get tits.
Yeah.
But did you see the picture of that guy?
And a buildup of estrogen actually lowers testosterone.
Did you see the picture of that guy when he was Usyk was fighting? There's little to the doubt that motherfucker wasn't running something. This dude looked like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous, but digging history with Gun Truck said, looking good, brothers. And then he says, James McCormick. What's up, James?
Hey, that's my old platoon leader in Iraq.
Oh, okay.
That's my old platoon leader. Remember? We had him on the show.
Yeah.
Cool. That dude's an actual, when you talk about actual, like,
we did have him on.
When you talk about actual war hero, he'd be the first person that comes to mind. This dude has like 2 silver stars, 4 purple hearts, 2 bronze stars. I think he's like one of the most decorated veterans in Ohio or West Virginia. I mean, and he's also in charge of the Purple Heart Foundation. Something I'm not a member of, and I should be. I never asked to join. We have to get the old captain in on that now. Get me joining the old Purple Heart Foundation.
He goes, I knew Gigi wasn't the same since Steve Rolls. What's up, Jose?
No.
I can't answer that. That's the fight you're talking about. He's talking about this last fight, obviously.
Yeah.
I think everybody's discrediting Derevyanchenko. I really do.
I'm not, but to say that Triple G looked the same, he did not look the same.
No.
His timing was off. His reflexes were off. And I'm not saying it's because of old age. It could have been him being sick, like they say.
It definitely could have been. I
don't know.
And you know what, guys? I know from experience, a lot of people were saying, well, that's an excuse, too. It's not. I mean, he definitely could have been. I mean, obviously, it was reported. But going back on that, he looked like crap. I don't think he did it. Listen, I've seen Derevyanchenko make a lot of moves that actually made him miss because Derevyanchenko is an awkward guy to fight.
Yeah.
And he does pivots, and he moves very well. So I cannot take the credit away from Derevyanchenko. I think that he made, for a decent amount of it, Triple G look like that. Now, where I do think maybe Triple G was sick was how he covered up and took a lot of time off in between.
I agree with you. And for me, people are saying he made an excuse. Triple G's never made an excuse before about being sick, and so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he has never made an excuse about anything.
Yeah, I don't think that Derevyanchenko hits that hard.
He's winning the fights. Triple G's winning the fights with injured hands, and he's never said nothing about his hands being injured, you know? So I would give him benefit of the doubt. But also, it could be Father Time catching him, too. We just don't know. And you said that yourself. You don't know when it's going to happen.
So I don't want to take the credit away. I mean, like I said, the only thing that showed me that it could possibly be age or being sick was when he got caught. I mean, usually he gets hit and he fires back. And a couple of times he went and he just let Derevyanchenko hit him. Yeah. And it wasn't because he was hurt. The one body shot did hurt him. And it took the air out of him. But I'm talking about to the head.
That referee saved that knockout from him being knocked down, I think, in that fight. When he was hurt to the body, and he stopped in the middle of that while he was being hurt.
When Triple G was hurt?
Yeah, that referee jumped in the middle of that.
Yeah.
I go, that kind of slowed some progression
I seen Triple G get hit by Canelo and guys that hit harder than Derevyanchenko.
Yeah, but that one, somebody he didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, it made his butthole pucker.
Yeah.
Jose says, yeah, Derevyanchenko was a beast, though. He was, and I'm not taking nothing from him. And you know what? He deserved that. I'm going to get into that, too.
Guys, we'll get to all your questions. I promise. Don't go away.
But that's one thing that really pisses me off anymore. There's two things. When people say that you have to beat the champ.
That pisses me off.
To get the belt.
Yeah.
That's horseshit. I mean, this Derevyanchenko worked his entire life for that 1 minute, that one opportunity. The
second one.
Danny
Jacobs.
But you work your ass off for that, and to be champion, to finally be a world champion.
Yeah.
And if the world champion can't beat you, and you beat him by 2 or 3 rounds, that's horseshit. That fight right there, they should have gave it to Derevyanchenko. He fought his heart off, and that's the type of shit that ruins lives, careers. That when it takes it out, it takes the soul from a fighter.
Also, some of the questions we have, Kelly, are like, Esteban, what's good? Luis Cortez is watching. Sarah is watching. My girl Sarah is watching. I love Sarah. She's so awesome. Luis was sitting ringside. He had it 114 for 113 for Triple G. I had the exact opposite score for Derevyanchenko. Shayna, I hope she enjoyed her trip to Europe. She's been there for like 3 months.
I had a 115, 112, but I can't. I would have been content with a draw. Yeah. I cannot be content with giving. Oh, so that's where I wanted to get it.
Okay.
Stilling the round.
Yes.
That's why I couldn't give it to Triple G in some of them close rounds.
You're just opening fire quick tonight.
I am. When you are trying to get, I have to get it in before you keep going. So,
no, I was gonna say nothing about that.
So when you got to keep when you win 2.5 minutes of a round and a guy comes in, and we talked about this, and a guy comes in and stills the last 30 seconds or 20 seconds of the round. It don't mean that he won that round. You got 3 minutes in a round. If that was the case, they would make it a 15, 20-second round. Okay, that's how long rounds would be. The only time that a guy could come in the last 30 seconds to still a round is if he almost drops you and beats the shit out of you for 30 seconds and almost knocks you down. Other than that, so Derevyanchenko won those rounds. He out-hustled Triple G. I mean, it was clear as fucking day. I mean, there was a couple ones that were a little bit of a toss-up, but my reasoning for taking Derevyanchenko was because he out-hustled Triple G.
He did, and that was the same reason I got him. They said, Triple G won that fight with his jab. It takes more than a jab to win a professional fight. Derevyanchenko threw 3, 4, 5 punch combinations, may have landed 2 or 3 of them.
Absolutely.
But he was still putting in the workout. And that was the same thing that was with Triple G and Canelo. Triple G had that beautiful jab. Yes, he has a great jab. But Canelo was throwing body work and massive body work. And that's how you win fights you win fights in volume in pro fights.
I seen a guy that gave the 10th round to Triple G.
Dude, I've seen some crazy scores. Somebody had 118, 110 for Triple G in this fight. I'm like, what fight did you see? Did you watch that, Justin? The fight? Justin just lets us down every day. Every day with Justin, we fall farther from the light of God.
Oh, yeah.
You were working?
He's a working man.
You're a working man.
Hey, I tell you what else too. There's another one. Is from Michael Donahue. Thoughts on Clarissa Show's fight being called off? That's something I wanted to
It's that fucking Flint water, man.
That's one of them tough things right there. That guy asked that trainer. That was.
He's gonna ask for that shit.
He did, and I'm not being mean.
No, he did.
I've seen people saying this poor guy got hit, and and he's like he was calling out a woman. He was calling the Clarissa Show's sister. He was telling her, "Come over here." He's like, "I'll punch you in the face."
You fucking hoe.
No matter, calling her a hoe and all this other stuff.
Hey, and don't forget, he followed He followed Clarissa's brother across the room and sat down and kept her. Now, I'm not saying it's right to hit a 70-year-old man.
No, it's
but
not.
I understand. I fucking understand.
That goes, I mean, it does go both ways. It's a shame that both camps had to do that and cancel a fight like that because they couldn't be fucking civil. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. But yeah, he was not in the right for that. I'll tell you what, anybody got a sister, you find me one dude right now and let a guy, I don't care if he's 65 or 70, go up to your sister and say the things that he was saying to her without somebody putting their hands on him. If you say you wouldn't because you're 70, you're full of shit.
You're a pussy.
Yeah.
You know what? Bro, they say something to my sister like that, these hands are rated E for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what
you
I'm
don't even
saying.
have a sister, but
you got to take both. You know, you got to take both sides. It was wrong on both.
It was both.
Can the guy avoid punching a 70-year-old man in the face? Probably. Could he have went to security or somebody say, hey, this guy's talking to my sister.
Yeah.
I guess that's the easy way to go about it.
You know the thing is too, it's that Flint water, man. It makes them all fucking crazy. You know, it's that fucking water there. But Perry says wasn't ringside. He scored at 115, 113. I can understand that score. Josh says I'm actually off work watching you mofos on the big TV. Darren says these fighters know they are banned substances, though, correct? So there's no excuse for any of these. No, absolutely not. There is no excuse. Dominic says, Kelly, how would you have done against Triple G?
I would have closed the curtains.
He would have trouble with that volume. If Derevyanchenko's volume was too much for him, can you imagine 80 punches around?
With the power. Cherry hot fist will barbecue his ribs.
Hey, Anthony's watching.
The Quags goes, I thought Triple G won. Great fight, though. Not a robbery. Could have gone either way, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't see Triple G winning. I could have gave it a draw, but I definitely had.
Luis Cortez, one of my favorite writers, said, I heard that the body shot, the crack and press row, that shit was vicious. No. And Greg Richard said, how did you score the fight? I had it 114, 113 for Derevyanchenko. Greg Richard.
Oh, okay.
And how did you have the fight?
115, 112.
So we were pretty close. I had it 114, 113.
Yeah. We got Ricardo says, rest in peace, Palos Garcia. I saw old video.
Oh, yeah, we were going to get to that.
Yeah, Ellie, when you prank Palos with a snake in his gym.
Yeah, we're going to do that, guys.
Palo was a cool guy.
Yeah,
we'll get to that, Ricardo.
We'll get to that, because that still hurts. That still stings.
What's up, Damon?
Oh, I want to put out the U.S. Olympic Eastern qualifiers going off in Columbus today.
Yeah.
Emmy Vargas had 2 knockouts already in a row.
Damn.
He's both first-round knockouts.
I think I'm going, when's the last day? You sent me the thing.
Friday. But tomorrow,
I think I'm going to go down Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah, you want to go?
Yeah, we're going Thursday to the Eastern qualifiers.
I'm going to take the family down because we're going to hang out Friday. Is there any fights Friday?
I don't know if I think they're done.
Shit. Okay.
They might be going Friday.
Well, let me see. You sent me the schedule.
Yeah, I did.
I'll look at it, and then if I got to pull the kids out of school, joking, Foreman teachers.
They'll understand. Kelly Morgan's watching. My girl Kelly, she's awesome.
What's up?
Yep. Great. She has a great show too, out there. I've mentioned the show before.
Yoga goes, Kelly would eat Golovkin. Thank you, Young Yoda. And Fat Lady goes, Kelly's left hook to Triple G's ribs would have hurt Triple G worse than Canelo's and that guy.
Let me ask you this though, Kelly. Do you think his power, Triple G's power, is on would be harder than Miranda's, or do you think it'd be about the same?
I don't know. I'm not going to go and say that Triple G hits a lot harder in Edison Miranda because he don't.
I've heard sparring partners say that the 2 hardest punchers they ever faced was in your time period was Miranda and Antoine Eccles were the 2 hardest punchers that they've ever felt. And a lot of people, they don't remember Antoine Eccles, but they said he hit hard. Yeah. But me personally, I've seen Triple G in camp. I saw him in Big Bear one time. And you know the winning headgear with the full face mask? Yeah. I saw him break one. Smack on he hit somebody guy with the right hand, and I saw that middle bar snap on it. That shit's made from Teflon, what they make Glock out of. And he broke that.
I can tell you this right now. I don't have to get hit by Triple G. I've been following the sport.
Yeah.
And I did the sport so long that when he hits people, I can see their reaction. So I'm not taking anything from Triple G. Would I want to get hit by Triple G when I was fighting? No. But I would have fought him.
But I think you'd have been prepared for it.
And I can tell you this right now, though. If he does hit harder than Miranda, it's not by much. I mean, so at what point do you say, when you get 2 guys that hit that hard, he hits just a little bit harder? No, because usually by that point your fucking brain is rattled through your butt crack.
Louis says Boots is a problem. Absolutely, Boots is a problem. He's a good fighter. Enos is a very good fighter. But I want to see him move up in competition. I'm not selling the farm on a guy yet that hasn't fought anybody out of the top 25. And I know all you Philly guys get crazy about that. But comparing him to Crawford and comparing him to Spence and Porter is fucking asinine right now. He's a good fighter. That's like me comparing Gary Russell to Lomachenko. Or you know,
you can, because
no, I can't. Loma beat him. But I'm saying that's like comparing him. Yeah. But I'm not going to do that yet. Enos is a good fighter. We just saw last week on what he did, but he looked good against the guy he was supposed to beat.
Exactly. Yeah, so give it time on that. Damon says, does Derevyanchenko fight like a typical Russian?
Yes.
Did he do anything that was out of the
He's
norm?
Ukrainian.
Yeah, I don't think he fights like a typical Ukrainian or Russian. I think they fight alike.
Usyk fights a lot like him, and so does...
I think Derevyanchenko fights a lot different. He's more awkward. I mean, he uses the feet movement that them guys do, but he's like up and down. It's hard to explain. He's like in all over.
Yeah.
A little different. Maybe he's just not as smooth as some of the other guys do.
Jenny said, she said, hi there, stud muffins. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. But Omi said, Ward's caught up to him. Canelo, Jacobs, and Canelo. You know, that's a big possibility. But I don't think we're going to know until he fights again. But the thing that bothered me on this was people jumped right on this Derevyanchenko, this Ukrainian Amtrak, and they ride this motherfucker to the end. I made a point like that last night. I said, they jump on this track like this dude's unstoppable now, like he's Ivan Drago. I said, and he's going to stop Canelo now. He's going to beat Jacobs in a rematch. He's going to beat Andrade. Stop. Yeah. The guy had a good fight against a guy that we don't know if he was at 100%. Mm-hmm. And Danny Jacobs beat Derevyanchenko. Yeah. This guy's 13-1. Everybody needs to slow down. He's 13-2 now. Let's slow down and stop trying to say that he's going to beat Canelo Alvarez.
I got to say this on him. I think that he's still early in his career fighting guys like that.
Yes.
I think he's going to be a handful for any middleweight.
He is, but now, I do not think Canelo Alvarez.
No, do I say right now that he's better than Canelo? No, I do not. Do I think he's better, that he'll beat Danny Jacobs again in a rematch? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying
I don't know.
You cannot say that he does not have a chance. Obviously.
But you know what would be a good fight for him? Charlo. Give him Charlo. Let's see what he does.
Well, let's see what Charlo got too.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. This is a chance for them both to say like, hey, you know what? Or Billy Joe Saunders. Let's say, hey, look, how good are you really? Because this was an injustice to Derevyanchenko to not get he didn't get Triple G at 100%. And whether it be sickness or father time, I don't know. But Derevyanchenko will not get full credit because he didn't get Triple G at 100%.
He won't. Michael Donahue goes, what do you guys suggest for a shorter guy who's always dealing with the reach disadvantage?
Learn to get inside of the reach.
What's the key to a good inside game? The key is this: head movement and using your jab, and placement, and also timing. Timing a taller guy and using the jab. Sometimes if you're not going to use the jab, it's a good footwork to get on the inside, and the timing is also very important.
True. And also, remember, on a taller guy with a longer reach, you don't want to rely on a single jab. You want to double and triple your jab every time, and you want to use different angles on your jab. You want to jab up and down, and down, and also learn to parry shots. A lot of times, guys that have a longer jab will get in the habit of throwing a punch at the same speed and the same rhythm. So learn to parry shots, start knocking them down, go over the top. And one of my favorites that I learned from Joe Goosen was, if you're going to throw, when you're fighting a taller guy like that, long reach, kind of throw the right as kind of a loop, a little bit of a looping. It gives you a little more distance to throwing it straight. Yeah. You remember doing that? Well, you never fought anybody taller than you. Fuck.
I was just going to ask that. I was like,
you never fought anybody taller than him. I was just thinking about that. Wait a minute.
I mean, Hopkins and Taylor were the same height.
But you had a better reach, didn't you?
I don't know. I have to go back to the Taylor.
What are you, 78?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you had a better reach.
Damon says he pivots a lot at weird times, always bouncing in and out. His style is weird. It is, Damon, and it's going to give anybody a hard time. Yeah. Fat Lazy goes, I'm so excited for Canelo versus Kovalev. I love these kind of surprise matches. Should happen more for the fans and entertainment.
Well, they're shitting on Canelo for that too. He's cherry picking, fighting Kovalev.
Yeah, Fat, I see what you're saying, but for the fans' entertainment, you got a freaking junior middleweight jumping up to fight a cruiserweight.
Middleweight, yeah.
That's dangerous for the fans' entertainment.
George has a good question for you, Kelly. Thoughts on the term running in boxing? Think it's a excuse for a fighter that doesn't know how to cut off the ring, set up traps, and lacks ring generalship. What do you think running is?
Running?
Thoughts on the term running in boxing? I think it's just a sorry excuse for a fighter that doesn't know how to cut off the ring, set up traps effectively, and lacks ring generalship.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you could do it and you can't stop it, then oh well. There is some running. I mean, but usually that's a guy that is afraid for his life and don't want to get hit. And you can see when they run. Then you got guys that use the ring. You got people who used to call Mayweather and say that he ran.
He ran.
He
He
did
not run.
He used the ring and he would stay in there.
Paulie Malignaggi used the ring. He didn't
used
run.
The ring. You know, maybe I don't even know who did, to be honest. Pernell Whitaker
didn't
moved
run. He
a
never
lot.
ran.
No,
either.
he didn't run.
He was always out of position to counter, but he never ran.
So usually it's the guys that don't want to get hit or the ones that run. But you can't, when you get guys that move, even Prince Nassim, he moved. He
was a power puncher too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He could hit you off the back foot and fucking ruin your night.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to say what running is. I mean, the guys, that's ring generalship when they're using the ring.
Where's a good question here? Oh, Dan Rosano says, how much do you think Derevyanchenko excelled, which he did, versus Triple G being off? Bad night, sign of his age. Yeah, we already got into that, Dan. It could be anything. I mean, I'm not going to say Triple G's washed up because he may have been sick. And as far as I know, I've never heard Triple G make an excuse about anything before. So I'm going to...
In a situation like this, you got to give it another fight and see if he fights like that again, then you could say, yeah, you know what, it's official. Father Time caught up to him.
Yes.
If he goes out there and shines his next fight, which he can, even though Father Time showed up, then you could really say that, you know what, he was legitimately sick.
Yeah.
I mean, if he said he was sick, I don't see him lying because here's the thing. Usually in a fight, you don't ever want to give anybody an advantage.
The doctor said he was sick too.
Yeah. So, like, why would you, like, even with me, I hid mine because I didn't want the Hopkins camp finding out.
No.
You know what I mean? Because they'll take that. So you think I got my ass whooped like I did? Can you imagine if he knew that I was sick?
He'd have been all over you.
He would have been on me like fucking flies on shit.
So true. And you know, I don't know. Like I said, Triple G's went in the ring with broken hand before at times. Like he's had a broken hand early on, and he didn't say anything. So, I mean, this guy's not known for making excuses. Mm-hmm. And
you could put the fight in jeopardy saying you're sick.
So, like I said, I don't know. What concerned me is I saw some timing issues. I saw some reflex issues. But like I said, it could be being sick too. Who knows? It could be a bad camp. It could be he didn't adapt well to this new trainer, which I'm not a big fan of. I think that sometimes after so long, you're not going to change your style. You're going to get hit. You're going to go back to what you've always done.
I agree. Damon goes, how about Usyk's heavyweight debut being in jeopardy again over Pete Peds?
It was that fucking Clomid, them trying to get his testosterone going because he was running a cycle prior, and he's cycling off, and he ran his Clomid too late. Why did he just Why did he just get off his cycle, not run Clomid, keep his dick soft, and then fight, and then go run his Clomid? What's the difference it's going to make?
I don't know. It's probably been on it for a period.
Oh, I'm sure. Victoriano says, Lar ran, in my honest opinion. Yeah, you know, that's a Cuban trait, though. A lot of the Cuban fighters, they do run, and they that's their style.
Yeah, Rigondeaux was kind of a mover. I wouldn't say a runner. He moved.
But he had lights out power, too.
He did, too, yeah.
He said he was sick after Sato fight before, and his next fight he looked much better. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not gonna shit on Triple G right now, or say that anything, because I don't know. But it could be anything, any reasons. He may not adapt well to a trainer. He may have been sick. He may have just Father Time caught up to him overnight. And Kelly will tell you too. Father Time catches you in a moment. It doesn't. You can look great one fight, and the next fight it's over.
I think when you start getting to the 32 years of age and you got a good amount of fights under you and a long amateur career, I think that everybody's different. Of course, you got guys that don't catch them till they're 50. You got some guys that don't catch them till they're 43. But usually around 32 is when you're going to start seeing the decline in most fighters.
When did you start noticing you were changing?
About 29.
You weren't declining 29. Yet, but I mean, you noticed you weren't. You were 27, right?
I think I was a little bit.
You started noticing that things weren't coming off as quick, or you weren't like, I don't know.
I noticed it in sparring because the guys I was whooping the shit out of, 4 years earlier, they were back in camp, and it was like, damn.
You know, even in the amateurs, I remember when I hit 23. I know it sounds like a big deal, but from being like, I had my last fight at 22 or 23, but I remember like being at 16 and then throwing that right hand, just don't letting it go. And I noticed the older I got, the more fights I got, that right hand just didn't leave the
it
station
didn't.
as quick, or it didn't. You'd hold it.
Yep.
Was that a? Do you think? I'm asking you because I don't know. Is that a sign of kind of reflexes going a little bit?
It did, yeah. I mean, it depends. It depends on how long you've been in camp, how long you were off, your rust level. Because you could have rest at 22, 23 years old and come back and be in your prime and still have ring rust. Timing's timing.
Well, and people are gonna say you were 22, but I started fighting at 8.
But if
you
but if you were a good amount in a couple sparring sessions into camp and you started noticing that, then you know what? For some reason, that's still a little young though. But depending on how many fights you had,
150 at that time, over 150. But I was remembering, I remember even sparring, I didn't want to let the right hand go like I used to.
But I think a lot of guys at 22, when they have that type of, I don't think it's from being old at 22. It could be the weight cuts too. I think that some of the most people I've seen at that age that start losing that were ones that had like 300 amateur fights.
True.
A kid by the name of Jose Celia, who was my sparring partner. He had like 330 amateur fights. Yeah. And by the time he was 22, he was half punchy. His one eye, he had a bad eye, and he lost his timing on that.
You think it could have been the weight cuts too? Me walking around at 175, 180, cutting to 47 all the time?
Yep.
It could have been that.
There's a good fat lazy goes, Kelly, you don't have to mention any names, but have you ever suspected of any of your opponents were on PEDs? Yeah, I do.
No, I don't think B-Hop was B-Hop was ever on PEDs. That was a joke, guys. I don't think he was. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to put it out there because you don't really know. But
no one ever tested positive, so.
Yeah, so everybody tested clean. Damon
but you ever suspected it on someone? Did you ever think maybe I'm not saying somebody did you ever say, this motherfucker just not right?
Yeah.
He's a little too bouncy in the 11th round, 10th round.
Yeah, but you can't. Pavlik would have beaten Golovkin. Damon goes, how does the punchline feel about Crawford calling out Spence on Team Z, telling him to pull his panties down and sign a contract?
That's what you got to do.
I think Crawford wants it, but I think Crawford may have to go talk to his people on that or Spence's people.
Crawford may have to shake Bob Arum's tail on that. Say, hey, look, because a lot of people, and I talked about it today too, Kelly. These fighters, they think they have. These people think these fighters can just make fights happen. They have no control of that shit. None. The promoters, matchmakers, and TV executives do.
When these guys get to Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather level,
or Canelo,
or even Canelo, they have a say at that. But Canelo's under a contract too, though. Big contract, so he don't even really have that much power and say. I'm sure, one fight here and then a hard one, and then another fight, he can say, "Listen, I just fought Danny Jacobs. I want to fight this guy." I'm sure they'll budge for that, but he's not. Canelo in his contract's not going to be able to go call shots every fight. And but when you get guys to the level of Mayweather and Pacquiao, you can start picking your fights. But that's it. You're talking about two guys out of thousands of fighters. So you're 100% right. Crawford, Spence, that's not up to them on making this fight. And I think Crawford, he knows that, and he's just trying to get the interest. Maybe he's putting pressure on the promoters and on Spence's promoter to make this fight, because I don't even really think it's top rank, and I'm not just saying that.
No,
I think the issue lays on Spence's promoter.
Well, yeah, but I saw a post today. I'm gonna call him Jason Bailey, good buddy of mine, but he was so pissed off and so Did you read that anti-top rank?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute.
Well, I seen that.
PBC, they're talking about how great PBC is and how that's not how that works. And get combative if you disagree. I said, look, man. I said, every promoter is shit. Anybody who disagrees with that, they're fucking full of shit. They don't know shit about this sport. Every promoter is a piece of shit. You just have to decide what piece of shit's a little cleaner than the other.
It's like a politician. I mean, every politician is a fucking liar, and they're not going to do what they say. So you got to pick the best liar.
Hey King, I'll ask Kelly. I can't answer that. Kelly would know. Can fighters structure their contracts in a manner that forces the promoter to get fights outside of the banner?
I don't think so, unless you have
that kind of pull.
Big pull, yeah. Here's a good one. Well, first, Francesca, he goes, "Why can you not say?" Because who you suspect was on
they're not on it.
I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to put the name out there, especially and have people, start throwing shit like, oh,
Kelly
here we
said that
go.
you were on shit.
Yeah, and here's the excuses, and it ain't worth it, man. I answered a simple question, bro.
And you have no proof of it. That's the
No,
thing.
I don't.
That's the thing.
That's why they said who I suspected, but I'm not going to throw a name out there.
But that's not how it'll be by the time it gets there.
Yeah.
It'll be a news article that Kelly said so-and-so was juiced the whole time they fought.
Yeah.
It changes.
That I was on it. Jose Alessandra says, James, I think Ryan Garcia's speed is going to wreck Duno in November.
I can see that. But right now, I think Ryan's not really focused. Ryan's so busy in this little beef with Golden Boy, and he's outside his management and promoter. He's not really focusing on what he needs to focus on right now. He needs to focus on his ass in the gym. Because right now, I've said it before, Ryan is not at the top of the pack among his peers. He stylistically, emotionally, and championship level ready, he is in the back.
Yeah.
He is with Michael Conlan and those. And then you guys have these guys like Virgil Ortiz, Teofimo, Shakur Stevens all up front and killing it. And then you have guys like Ryan in the back that's not moving as quick. Right now, he should focus on his trade. There's a lot of mistakes being made by Ryan. I
agree on that. Goodfellow says, do you all see another fighter making Floyd money? I think Canelo's reaching that. Of course, it's still less than him in one fight, but I think once Canelo gets done with this, or if he renegotiates a contract and he gets another big mega fight, just say even the third Triple G fight, I'm sure he's gonna. I don't know I don't know.
Is that even viable?
He might be screwed under the contract.
Yeah. Well, he has 11 fights, and he's already halfway done through them now, right?
Yeah, but maybe you can tell them.
But right now, is there any, if Triple G fights again like this, there's no money to be made in that third Triple G fight.
No,
there's nothing for him.
300. Okay, so his deal was 350 million.
365.
365.
33.1 a fight.
I don't see another name out there for him to make the Mayweather type money. But I mean, my God, $350 million for 11 fights.
But he's never going to make more than 33.1 because that's the limit. No. That's his contract, no matter who he fights.
But he's still the richest athlete.
Oh yeah, he is. But he can make good money out of Spence. If we see Spence move up, there's money there. Billy Joe Saunders would kill it in Wembley. You know what I mean? In England, I don't know. Canelo, we already know, is not afraid to go to 75. What about Bivol?
That's what I mean. But this Bivol, I don't think. But here's the whole thing. It just comes down to the timing. I mean, there's not a Mayweather Pacquiao fight out there. There's two megastars like that.
Yeah, there is.
Unfortunately. I mean, you got big names, but us people, the boxing people,
they want.
Yeah, we know, but it's not enough mainstream. So most of these guys, Canelo's not even as mainstream as Mayweather and Pacquiao. So,
but he's getting there.
He is.
King says Devin Haney. Yes, no disrespect to Devin Haney. He's one of my favorites. I just didn't think about him, but you're right. Devin Haney is one of those guys that his talent is high. He's a high level guy, and I just don't think Ryan's made it to that level yet. I mean, and it's not his fault. I just think there's some things that he hasn't fixed in his game yet that's got him to that level yet.
Yep. Fernando goes, much respect for that, Kelly. Can't say anything if you don't fill a test. And you're 100% right, Fernando. Ricky Pavlik says, did you see Tyson Fury on Monday Night Raw last night?
No.
I seen a picture of it. I tell you, he's fucking taller than oh, my God. How am I forgetting his name?
I did see a clip of that.
Did you?
Yeah, Braun Strowman.
Oh,
Braun Strowman. Yeah, he's big.
Did you see Usyk yesterday talking about Tyson Fury?
Huh.
They asked Usyk if he'd want to fight, who would rather fight, Wilder or Fury, and he said, I want to fight Fury. And they looked at him like, why? He said, he's too big. That's what Usyk said. He said he's 6 foot fucking 9.
He don't hit as hard as Wilder.
But he said he's too big though. He said Fury's just too big for him right now. I mean, we haven't seen him in the heavyweight division yet.
Yeah.
And they want him to fight Fury?
Yeah, that's crazy.
He didn't say Wilder. He said Joshua he'd rather fight right now.
Yeah. Jake Miller says, hey, Kelly, have you had any fight negotiations held up by a blood test too close to the fight date? No, never had that issue, man.
Who did your testing? Was it Vada or was it the other one? USADA?
I think it was USADA. I don't know. Vada may have done it.
It don't matter. They catch you.
They came in with fucking piss in a cup and that was
shake it.
Yeah.
Hold your wiener when you do it.
Yep. Watch me pull on my wiener.
Yeah, pull out your Wizinator.
Yeah, young Yoda says, "What do y'all think about Shakur Stevenson?"
I think he's awesome. I think he's
a
getting
great
better
fighter.
every fight.
But I think he needs to get some things.
I think he needs to get some better competition too. Start stepping up.
And then you'll see where he's at.
Right now, Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Teofimo Lopez leads the pack. Those guys are prospects. I don't even think they're prospects anymore. Do you?
No, they're
contenders.
They're definitely contenders. Jake Miller, Damon goes, Terrence Crawford thinks Porter edged Spence. Porter thinks the fight was a draw and says he will push hard for a rematch. Not Crawford. How does a punchline like a rematch?
I wouldn't complain about it, but I really think that they're kind of want to move on.
Yeah, there's too many fights. Okay, let's think about it. Crawford, Spence.
Garcia,
Crawford, Porter.
Thurman,
Pac.
Mikey.
Or not Thurman, Pacquiao,
yeah.
Spence or Crawford.
You can throw Mikey in the mix anytime.
Yeah, Mikey with any of them. You got Pac, Porter.
Virgil Ortiz Jr. now at 47.
Yeah, I mean, just so 47. We're talking about middleweight and all that, how nice it is and how loaded it is. But the welterweight's it's filled with talent. So I think another fight, even though it was great and definitely a fight of the year candidate, I think that it's time to bring in the other fights that we want to see too.
Yeah.
And then that's weird that you get a fight that good where you actually don't want to see the rematch.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it again either, but I'm just saying there's other fights out there for all of them, even for Porter. Porter still has big interest, or should, and has all the right in the world to say he wants to fight Pac-Man, or to say that he wants to fight Crawford. He's paid his time, done his dues. He fought everybody they put in front of him, a lot of big names, and he gives everybody a good fight.
Greg Richardson, what happened to Mikey and Pac? Thought it was all. They're still negotiating. It's going to take some time. I mean, they're talking about it, and there's nothing gone away with that yet. They said they were about 95, 98%, but right now it's money and venue, and that's the thing. And that's the hardest thing to. Those are the hardest things to come up with in a fight is money and venues, because Manny wants Vegas, Mikey wants LA. I mean, and right now, let's forget all about that. Right now, Mikey has other focus. Right now, he just lost his nephew. Rest in peace, Pelos. He lost his nephew, and I don't think his focus right now is on fighting Pacquiao right at this moment. I think it's taking care of his family.
Exactly. I mean, he's got things going on. They're close and they're tight knit.
Darren says, I feel bad for Andrade, not even being on the right side of the street with all the middleweights and get a big fight. I don't feel bad for him. He did this to himself. It's self-inflicted, Darren. He chooses to fight every 2 years.
Is it him wanting to fight every 2 years?
Well,
or is it the promoter.
Yeah. Let's say, he's had fights and backed out of them. So
yeah,
and then not fought. So it could be him as promoter, but I don't feel bad for him, because if I'm with the promoter that's not getting me fights, it's time to change that promoter and move on.
Yeah. Here's one from Damon that we talked about earlier. That Damon, thank you for bringing it up, and you're gonna get me to go off a little bit. He said, word on his streets. We say streets.
Great.
Is Spence has drinking issues. Will that show itself at some point? Yeah, Damon, let me explain on that one, bro. I think you were on the post too, and real Spartan. I don't understand how a man out there that is pound for pound one of the best fighters in boxing and is making millions with a lot of leather and gold straps around his waist, how anybody could sit there and call him a fucking drunk. You got people out there that live the same type of lifestyle that he's doing on every day and go home to their fucking same old shit, and they use the excuse, well, I'm not a superstar, I'm not an athlete, like, this is my life. No, that's not. That's an excuse to go be a fucking derelict, but then you're going to go on social media and talk shit about a guy who has $7 million in his bank account, pound for pound top fighter, and a bunch of fucking things in a trophy case that people would dream to have. Word on the streets is this. People need to sit there, they buy his fights, they watch him, he entertains them. They ain't entertaining him. He don't even know who the hell these people are talking shit on social media so they could be relevant. So that shit gets old. The guy's undefeated. He hasn't lost a fight. Shut the hell up. Not you, Damon. You're my homie. I'm just saying. And let the guy be. If he wants to go drink a fucking keg with his asshole up his asshole and doing it upside down, that's his prerogative. He earned it. He goes and gets punched in the face for a living to entertain everybody else.
You know, as long as he's making weight and he's giving 100% every fight, what he does in his off time is his business. If he wants to do cocaine and he wants to fuck every hooker in Dallas, and he's bringing you action and he's making money and he's giving 100% like he did against Porter.
Put the camera on them guys on their everyday life.
When they're using their whole paycheck to drink it up.
Watch them pulling the 75 cents out of their fucking ashtray thing to go buy a drink in a local pub. But Spencer's a drunk. You know what I mean? That's society. I guess.
Know what the problem is? I think people hold athletes to some kind of mythological standards that they can't be human. You know.
Yeah, you go get punched in the face for living to entertain us.
Bro,
you can't drink. You're a drunk.
We were in Vegas when we were at the MGM. It was funny. We were at the MGM. Kelly was getting mobbed by these fans for autograph, right? And Marco Antonio Barrera was there too, right in that area. Marco Antonio Barrera said in Spanish that he has to go pee, and some little Mexican boy said in Spanish, "He actually pees, Mom." He couldn't fathom that Marco Antonio Barrera was real and actually had to pee. Like he really went to the bathroom and pissed too. He really pees, Mom.
Yeah, I mean they do it like even here in Youngstown, like 90% of the area, and I love a lot of people. I had the best fans, so don't nobody take this as a knock.
Oh, they will.
But they talk shit, and most of them stare through alcohol glasses. I mean, go visit any pub. That's why every area in Mahoney County and where I live has bars, even restaurants. A little tiny restaurant got bars in it because people drink. So, but if anybody else that is a little successful does it, and that's the same shit Spencer's getting. I mean, hey, when he starts losing, well, he ain't gonna lose sleep over it. I mean, he's gonna probably wake up in his silk pajamas and his big king size bed and walk down his
3 hookers,
6,000 square foot house
in Frisco.
Yeah.
Amy said that James the MGM got a little scary later on. It sure did. William said, hey, I hate humans. Go ahead and say it, Kelly. You hate humans. Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah, I hate. Say it. You hate humans.
I guess irritating. No, I get mad when people talk shit.
They hold their fighters to
like Jake says, he goes, so a few drinks makes you a total drunk.
If he does choose to get drunk, that's his business.
Yeah, and they'll catch up to him.
The only one that's going to pay for it is Errol Spence. Cool. That's the only one that's going to pay for it.
Yeah,
and let him be. Let the man live his best life.
And you know what? And he's not going to be that miserable unless he goes out and blows everything. But right now, that guy is a living life.
Yeah.
He did not lose a fight, so don't talk on that yet. When he loses a fight, then you can start saying, well, maybe the alcohol caught up to him. Yeah. But till then, let it go. Bash him on the internet.
You want to bring up about Bellows?
Yeah.
You can go ahead if you want. You can say it. You want to bring it up because he's a buddy of yours too.
Had a loss with Palos this week.
Garcia.
And good young man, great young man. I had a blast, for a period of time. We talked after I got back from Oxnard, but for a period of time, he was just a super guy. And
he came on the show quite a bit early on and gave it all his relationship advice because he was the leader of MAG, Men Against Abusive Girls. That was his club. Remember, we were part of MAG, and what was it? MAG. Everybody's part of MAG, and Pelos was a good friend. I've known him for years and years, so many years, and a lot of good times. And Kelly was a teammate of Pelos's. For you guys who don't know, Pelos Garcia is the nephew of Robert and Mikey Garcia.
Yeah. Man, it's true.
We lost him to an unfortunate event that we don't have answers for. That I wish we could, and I wish we could have helped him, but.
Yeah. It was always a blast. Of course, the prank is always going to be my thing. I think more so because Ellie filming it. Yeah, he got his uncle's car, but it was I was using it.
Got Roberts. He painted your name all over it.
And he didn't like snakes, so we got him back with that. I got him back with that one.
You put that little python in his gym bag, right?
If you guys ever get a chance, go check that out.
It's on the page. You can watch that video.
Kelly prank snake.
Yeah.
Snake prank.
Roger Romo had that snake after, and it would crawl around the house, and then it died. I think it got out and it froze in the bedroom. I bought
a lizard and boa snakes.
Thank you, Furman. They were talking about the highlight reel I put up of you. Yeah, that was a good highlight. But yeah, guys, losing Pelos was definitely not what I expected. If you've ever been on his social media, he was the most positive, thoughtful guy ever, and never had a bad word or beef or anything with anybody.
Yeah.
So right now, I just want to, if however you pray or think positive, just all those thoughts, make sure they go to his mother, Alicia, and Bertha, and his sister Vanessa, and his brother David Gordo. Yeah. And right now, his uncles and family.
His kids, his
he has
family.
3 children. You have three children. So make sure everything, Yeah,
I mean, it's just a hard time. There's just a lot involved, and they got a lot of family, and it's just a hard time because the person that Palos was.
Yeah, Pat Furman says, what happened to Pat? Well, he died. I mean, I'm not going to say how he died because, I mean, you guys could look it up. I'm just, I don't know what the family wants to say or anything. So, but I just know that we're going to miss him. And right now, I think for me personally, I think life got a little darker over the past couple weeks without him. So
yeah, it is sad, and I love Palos and always will, and he'll always forever be.
I still have
my heart and my family. Yep. I'll tell you how nice of a kid real quick that Palos was, and how you could tell, like how people who know characters, how easy they could tell. My dad is a very good judge of character, and so is my wife, and they immediately took to Palos when they met him, and he was just a genuinely nice guy who always, for me being around him. I
wonder if we can put a picture of him up.
Always had a smile on his face.
I wonder if we can put a picture of him on the green screen.
He might be able to.
Thank you.
You want me to send you one? I can send that thing you sent me with him on it.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, he would come on the show, and he would, and me personally, like on a personal note, I remember when I was going through a separation with my wife, and you get to a certain point where you don't know what to do next. And I remember he would call me. I was in Oxnard, and he'd call me and have me come over, and he would talk to me, and he was younger, and he had so much good advice because that's what he was studying in school, was counseling and things like that. And I remember just thinking, man, and we would go to the gym, his gym, and we'd box and study and practice, and so I mean, I think what we done, I think we have is just a major loss to the sport, Yeah,
and again, condolences to his family. They're a great family. They're a big, close family.
Yeah.
And it's hard on all of them right now. So keep them in your prayers, guys.
Yeah, the 3 children, Bertha and Gordo, and
Fat Lazy goes, well, I was surprised. Didn't know this even happened. Palo was one of the nicest guys ever.
Yeah.
And then
he was kind, and his brother's just as kind too. If you guys ever get a chance to meet Gordo, and people forget Pelos was a champion himself. He won 2 BKB titles, one at lightweight, one at welterweight. And I know it was ace to BKB. Let me tell you what, he fought his ass off in those fights. That might have been one of the greatest fights I ever seen in that BKB. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
How bloody he was. Did you see that fight with Pelos in it? How bloody he was.
Yep.
I remember
going back onto the. Oh, go ahead.
I remember sparring with him, getting a chance to spar with him in the thing, and that was an enlightening experience. That motherfucker was strong.
I wanted to spar him after he tried pranking me though.
Yeah, it was 126.
I don't care.
I know you are. No, but he really loved you, Kelly. He'd always talk about you, and
yeah, he was great, man. But
back to less sad things, and now.
Well, Jake going back to the last thing we talked about. I think it was boxing thing. LeBron has been posting on social media videos of him drinking wine all off season, and no one said a thing.
Because LeBron's still knocking 34 points a game out.
Yeah, it's weird how it's acceptable for some athletes, but not others.
But
unless the player's showing up, unless his own camp's reporting on that he's showing up to camp drunk every fucking day. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I think, and people are saying, well, he's 30 pounds overweight. So what? He's making weight. But that's it. But you know what, though? I'm going to say it. Boxing fans are the shittiest fans in the world. And they're the greatest fans on one hand, but they're also the shittiest and most judgmental fuckers.
Baker Mayfield to sit at a game and
dude,
shotgun beer.
Yeah.
He bit the metal off of it. That was awesome.
Baker's fucking. Dude, his commercials cracked me up. Do you see the last one where they're at the stadium and he's like, all right, like he was hosting the party, the game. He's like, thanks for coming over, and then he had to go. He pulls out the little dirt devil. Yeah. He's like, oh man, ignorant.
You know what's funny? Everybody in the English-speaking world knows that we do a show, like my family, and they still call me at this time. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys know I'm doing a show. Yeah. Esteban said, sorry, guys, I had to step away. Did you go over the poor guy on the Triple G undercard that injured his knee? No, I didn't. To be honest with you, I watched very little of those undercards.
Yeah.
I kind of stuck to
Buckeyes were on.
the Buckeyes were on.
Young Yoda goes, question for Kelly. Do you remember a boxer in middleweight? Amin Askarian?
Who?
Amin Askarian?
Amin?
I don't remember. I might have.
I remember him. He was like he was in that same camp as what's his name, Darchinian and all them, one of the Armenian fighters.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember much. And then Fat Lady goes, Kelly, how hard did Brandon Rios hit when you sparred him?
Fucking
Oh,
hard.
man, he broke my rib. I never sparred Brandon Rios. He was too small.
He did hit hard though.
Yeah, I never had a chance of working with him.
Oh, now it has to come up a little more.
Although I'm surprised, though, because
It's low, Justin.
he's working on it.
Well, I didn't know.
Because
Picture with a big ass black border all around.
Robert Garcia will let everybody spar.
He didn't give a fuck. There he is. There he is. But yeah, you're right, King. I said boxing fans, they're a lot of them are so fickle, you know. Mikey Pac-Man December, I'm sure hoping so, Derek. If not, it's looking like December or January or even March. I've been hearing. I think we'll see it like in January or March. I'm hearing closer to March the 20th. Manny and Mikey, that's what they're shooting for. But it's not always up to them. Sometimes it's what's going on in that arena at the time. They have to work around
time and everything else.
because it's
too.
basketball season too. So
Young Yoda says, from Finland, European champ, used to be my coach. Oh, that's cool. That Askaman.
now it was. I don't remember, but like I said, guys, I'm not a historian on the sport like a lot of you guys. So many of you guys know much more about the history of the sport than I do. My thing is I'm a technique guy, and I break down technique and I break down fights. And I know Kelly says he's not a historian, but I think he is better of a historian than I am.
No.
Who was the bantamweight champion in 1992?
Michael Corboral.
No.
Damn.
I don't know. I was asking.
Bones Adams.
Orlando Canizales.
Orlando Canizales.
That's right. Fuck.
Sorry, Orlando.
And Eddie Cook was the other one.
Orlando wanted to work with me. I told him, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And
If I would have had Orlando Canizales as my trainer, I wouldn't have got hit by shit.
Nope. And he wanted me to come help. He needed a bucket gimp.
They would have had to bring M16 in that ring to hit me.
Esteban says, honestly, what do you guys think of Triple G with Jonathan Banks? Me personally, I was never a fan of it. I don't think a fighter like Triple G that's been doing it for 30 years, 35 years, however long he's been fighting, 30 years, you're not going to change in one day. You're not going to change going to somebody else. You need to be brought into a guy that's going to help you with your strengths and not try to change your strengths.
That's what I was going to say. Usually before I make that judgment, I like to catch an interview with the trainer and find out what their game plan is. Like when I went with Robert Garcia again, I loved what he told me. He goes, I'm not here to change your style. I'm here to sharpen what you already got. He goes, it's too late in the game. And I like that because you can't. You cannot change that style. You can temporarily, but then when the fighter gets hit, now he's back to his old self. And you know what? He just spent an entire 2 months of training on being something different, and now it's just too much. So I like to hear a trainer like Robert or somebody say that. Yeah, I'm going to sharpen his skills. I'm going to sharpen his style.
Didn't Rudy say the same thing too about you coming back?
Yeah.
That he can't change nothing. All they can do is fix. All they can do is just do what you've been doing.
Fix some of the simple mistakes,
and get your conditioned. That's all they want to do. There was a good one here too. What I was about to say was, Buddy McGirt tried that with Arturo Gatti. He changed him. And everybody said, oh, do you see he's a boxer now? What happened the first time he got caught?
He got caught.
He went crazy, went back to Arturo Gatti.
Yep. Here we go. Fat has a good one. James, since you mentioned technique, who do you think will win the body punches, Spence or Porter? Their body punching style is different.
Spence. I think Spence is a better body puncher. Just because he hits harder. He hits harder.
Well, we watched the fight with him and Porter. I mean,
there was nobody that took the.
Yeah.
I think Spence is.
Because
had the harder
you
shots.
give Porter a good account for tapping that body too.
I think Spence, and I think it's.
Oh, he goes. I mean, Spence Crawford.
Oh, I would still have to say Spence is a better body puncher than Crawford, but Crawford's really good upstairs.
Yes, he's sharper.
Sharper upstairs, but Spence right now may be one of the top body punchers, other than Canelo in the sport.
Yeah.
There's a good one here. Furman says, Kelly, I don't think Saul Canelo Alvarez will beat Kovalev. What do you think the thought process? Size matters.
I'm having a hard time picking them also, man. I think that it's just too much. I think it's a little too much to bite off. Again, I could be wrong. So, I know if Canelo goes and wins the fight, that people are going to come down on me. And I love Canelo. I think he's great for the sport, and I like to see him at middleweight or even junior middleweight again. Yeah. But I'm unfortunately got to lean towards Kovalev in this fight.
Yeah. Question. For somebody like Canelo, that's a superstar and a champion, but already has losses on his record, is it easier for him to take fights like that? Is it less damage to his reputation? Because, again, Kovalev is so much bigger. But, I mean, because he isn't undefeated,
that's a good point. He's got, what, 3 losses? Two losses?
He's risking his undefeated.
No, he don't. He only has 1 loss.
Okay.
He only has 1 loss.
1 loss. Well, yeah, at this point, but also for 99% of the guys that jump up like that, they got a good alibi. Yeah, I just went and fought.
Mikey did.
Yeah, I went and fought Kovalev, a powerful light heavyweight. That's I jumped up 2 weight classes without a tune-up. I've only fought 1 time at 168 against a guy so. Yeah, so I mean, it don't hurt him as bad as saying if he fought Kovalev at middleweight. Yeah. And he lost the fight.
But even when talking about Mikey too, Mikey going into his future. Now, I know you guys have mentioned before that Mikey plans on retiring and not doing something. But does that having that loss to a guy that's undefeated and so much heavier than him and actually going up those weight classes, does that take a lot of pressure off Mikey as far as taking riskier fights in the future too? I mean,
he knows what
people want to see.
I think he knows what he's capable of at that weight. I think he's more aware of what that weight has waiting for him, and he might be a little more careful next time. Say, hey,
I'm against campaigning at those heavier weights because you already fought 2 weight classes above. Because then you're kind of no matter what. Okay, 1 time doing it, I think it's cool, and if you lose, well, you took a hell of a chance, and you know what? More people in boxing should let their guys have some balls like that. Mm-hmm. But I think then again too, that same thing always plays in the back of the mind. Now you go and your career is probably going to be shortened quite a bit by fighting guys like that, and you're probably going to lose a handful more fights, and then people are going to eventually remember those last couple fights at the 2 weight classes above and you getting beat like that. Yeah. So I think it's dumb to really stay at that weight and campaign at it when, going up 1 time to do it. All right, so what? I got my ass whooped by a guy 2 weight, a lot bigger than me, and he's a world champion. Or if you go up and beat him, I just beat Kovalev 2 weight classes above.
Me personally,
and he could go back down and say, "Fuck it, look what I did at light heavyweight." And if he goes back down, he's got a better argument on his legacy.
I personally think that Canelo's going to stop Kovalev with body work. I think somewhere in late 8th, 9th round, I think he's gonna stop Kovalev with the body work. I think Canelo's gonna win this fight by knockout. I've been trying to think about it. Kovalev's Achilles heel has always been body work, and he gets hurt on body shots. And this is a guy that's one of the best at it.
So he didn't hurt guys that he struggled with middleweights.
But he fought guys that were better equipped to take those kind of shots to the body than Kovalev.
And you may be 1,000% right, man. And also may be in a situation
I've never seen Danny Jacobs hurt on a body shot. I've never seen Triple G hurt on a body shot.
But you may see him get
until
hurt.
The other night.
Hurt coming in.
It's true. You're absolutely right. This fight has so many X factors in it. We don't know.
I think it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, some people were saying it's crazy. A lot of people are picking Canelo, but I think it's a very interesting fight.
If you pick Kovalev, you're not wrong. That's common sense. But I'm going on. I think Canelo's just a younger, fresher guy, and I think he may be one of the very few. Me personally, I'd rather see Canelo and David Benavidez. I'd rather see Canelo and
I think Benavidez Saunders is way too big for Canelo.
But I would rather see that fight than I would Kovalev.
Leonard goes, Kelly, a lot of people were picking Miranda when you faced him.
Of course.
Obviously, they were wrong. And he was supposed to go on to fight Taylor.
But you were saying you were the same weight.
Who do you think would have won that fight? Oh, Miranda Taylor. Ooh, that's a good one, Leonard. If Taylor and
George has some good questions too.
I may have to go with Taylor. I think he would have stayed away from the power.
Yeah, Taylor was.
And I think Miranda wasn't in the shape that I was. And I think actually Miranda would have faded enough in the later rounds that Taylor wouldn't have to.
There's some good questions for you too, Kelly. Scott said, Kelly, early in your career, did you have a job outside the ring? And so what was it?
Yes, I did. I cut grass. No, I didn't cut grass. I lied to you. I sawed grass and rolled it, and then put down grass seed and topsoil and cow manure.
I did that too.
Yeah, and PA. I worked on a roof with Brian Zordich, and I did dishes there for a little bit. But you have to understand, with Top Rank, you're making decent money. This is why I did so well towards the end of my career with my money, because I learned making the little bucks that you got to save. And and then I had, a kid coming and everything else. So you got to do what you got to do to make it. Yeah. And then obviously once I made it, you lived and you learned. I was fortunate with my dad, and then at the beginning to be able to do what I did at the end of my career.
It's true. George says, is there any way in hell Canelo would be able to beat a prime Roy Jones? Absolutely fucking not. No. Canelo beat a prime Roy Jones? Absolutely not. He would. Roy Jones would gouge his fucking head off.
Yeah, what weight?
160 at prime Roy Jones. And then George says, Teddy Atlas, well, we already know this is going to be all sorts of fucked up now. Teddy Atlas said on his podcast that Duran beats Floyd at 135 and Hagler beats Roy Jones at middleweight. I don't agree with neither one of those picks.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you why. And everybody that's these big classic fans, let me tell you why. Hagler was a great fighter, one of the greatest ever. Let's put that out in the open. But Hagler was a bully. And he was a bully. Hagler was the type of, or not Hagler, Duran was a bully. Duran was the type of the fighter that he would do great if he was pushing you back and beating on you. But when somebody stood their ground and fought back with you, Duran folded. He was, what he was physically strong is what he lacked mentally. Yeah. We saw that with Sugar Ray Leonard. We saw that with Benitez. We saw that with Hearns.
Oh, I'm behind you 100%.
We saw that with Hearns. We saw that Duran can be mentally strong fighters. Your trainer don't need to have to put locks on the refrigerator to keep your ass out of it.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. I want to answer one more question, but here's the point on it. Hagler. And we got
no, he was talking about Duran, but Hagler too.
Duran. Yeah. But I'm going to go with Hagler.
Hagler beating Roy Jones.
3 minutes. But let's choose Hagler. A 5'9". Not really a power puncher at that weight. He was more of a wear you down. Yeah. But what would he have done with a guy who was fought and won a heavyweight world title that was a middleweight? Like Roy Jones with the speed. And Roy Jones didn't get tired. Roy Jones was every bit as fast in the 10th, 11th round. What would he have done?
He would have. I don't know if he would have knocked out Hagler, but he would have cut Hagler up, which Hagler was prone to cuts. I think Roy would have sawed him to pieces.
I don't know what people, okay, if you took Hagler and put him in 2018, nobody would say that Hagler.
The thing is,
and obviously, listen, Hagler is a great.
Yes.
He's an all-time legend. Nobody's knocking that. But for his era, yes, he was, and he's always going to be one of the guys. He's going to be notorious, along with Hopkins in the middleweight division.
Yes, but the thing is this too. The thing is this, even with this Duran, and if Wilfred Benitez was a great, but if he frustrated and turned Duran and made him feel bad about himself and not want to fight anymore, what do you think a guy like Floyd Mayweather would have done? Who's an inch in front of you, making you miss, knocking your punches down, and
hitting you hard.
Also, Floyd Mayweather Jr., whether you like it or not, had a great beard. He did not get hurt. This guy's never been hurt, other than Shane Mosley for a second. So, and I don't know. And then also, here's one for you, Kelly. Which is harder for a beginner to get down, footwork or punch selection?
Footwork.
I would agree with that too. I think footwork is harder.
I mean, when you start off teaching a young guy, you want to work on the basics of footwork, and then you slowly. And then the fat lazy goes, Kelly, when you had a 9-to-5, did you always think, man, screw this, I'm going to be a world champ? Yes, I did. And it's kind of hard too, because boxing, is boxing. But no, but it's hard, man. Listen, I didn't want to do that shit either. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, training 7 hours a day. Well, obviously I wasn't when I was doing a 9-to-5, but I was still going to the gym and training my ass off. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could have waved the wand and have both, but no, you're 9-to-5. You don't want to do that. No, not for whatever I was making at that time in 2005 or 2004. No, yeah, but I was sitting there and a bread guy coming to deliver bread, and I got my fucking hands in the sink pulling out spaghetti noodles out of the sink, you know, so the water would go down.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll never forget this. And he was like, champ, what are you doing? And this is like 3 years before I fought for the title. I'm like, getting by. But it was just like, you know, why are you working here? And I'm going, you know, damn.
They think you made a lot of money. Everybody thinks you made a lot of money.
Yeah, and I'm going, man, that's kind of like, you talk about hurting the ego and shit. So yeah, it makes you
Dude.
it makes you train harder.
I've seen world champions still drive for Uber and shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen world champions like Ponce de Leon in LA driving for like
Yeah.
Uber. So
Now,
it's
and
not,
by no means, like I said, I'm not knocking at
No.
all anybody that does dishwashing, but you know, like when I was younger, I was a bus boy when
Yeah.
right before I turned pro, and it was work. I mean, you know, guys got to do it, but I was saying in my case, the guy made it out to be something like I was so much more at that point,
yeah.
and then it kind of like, you know, the first thing you think in your head is he's gonna go and talk shit about me too, like it's gonna be, you know. So yeah, you don't want that.
Furman Crosco, Virgil Ortiz versus Teofimo. Do you think it'll ever happen? Dave, Virgil Ortiz beats the crap. First, I like that fight. Teofimo's a lightweight and Virgil's a welterweight, so we're not going to see that anytime soon. I think by the time Teofimo even gets to 147, you're going to have Virgil, because he's a big boy at 54 and 60.
Yeah.
Because Virgil's 6 foot tall. He's a big kid.
Unfortunately, you're not going to see. You got a real chance, and if Teofimo goes up to 147, I don't think he's going to fight the likes of a guy like Virgil Ortiz anytime soon, with the size and being used to fighting at 47.
I loved when we were in New York and they were interviewing and they asked Teofimo, who should he fight? And I said Virgil Ortiz, and the whole room got quiet. Like, are you fucking serious? Did he just say Virgil Ortiz? No. And Teofimo's a good guy. He's respectful. But some of the other people, even like some of the top ranked people, were like, that's a good fight. They were like, that's a good fight. But yeah. But hey, that was a great show today, Kelly.
It is. We'll be back on next week,
Tuesday. What do they got to do, Kelly?
subscribe, share, like,
and hit that ringy bell thing.
Ring a ding ding.
Hey guys, if we did not get to your questions or you have any questions, go ahead and hit us up on the Facebook on the show messenger, and subscribe to the show page. We have a show page, and
Thanks,
we
Young Yoda.
put questions down, and we put a lot of boxing videos, things that rare stuff that you won't see anywhere else. So we'll put boxing highlight videos and all kind of cool stuff. So
go check it out.
go check out the page.
James and Damon will answer all your questions.
We do.
Yeah.
Well, David will cuss you out on the air. No. You get on there a lot. People always ask if Kelly sees it. I said, Kelly sees everything that's on there.
I'll pop on and read it, and then depending on what's going on in that conversation, I kind of.
Esteban says, Kelly, I'll hit you up about hosting.
Huh?
So once the blue moon, you have your rain.
I do. Yeah. Once in a blue moon, I'll.
Yep.
It has to be something really bad too. Like if you see me get on there and
If
comment,
somebody
guys,
says something shitty.
I'm not going to say anything really mean in the comment, but you know that I'm pissed about something.
Esteban says, Kelly, I'll hit you up about hosting. I'll tell you what, Esteban, if you make your way here, you can host with Kelly. I'll take the night. I will take the night off.
No, you will not. You will sit here too, next to him with no shirt on, and you will rub elbows and arms with him.
Can I wear the bear helmet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then you can be right here in the middle. Hey, thank you, Tyke. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Without you guys, there is no show. We appreciate having you on.
Take care. DJ Image says rest in peace, Palos. Thanks,
in peace.
DJ. We'll see you guys next week.